I realized the other day that Avengers Doomsday comes out in just about a year. At the time of recording this, a year and 10 days. So that feels weird. I don't know what it is about the fact that this movie's coming out, and I don't know much of anything about it. At this point in time, it's December 8th, and we don't have a Doomsday trailer. Even though I think there's rumored to be one coming either this week or next week, which is also weird. A year in advance. Why are we doing that? I mean, I guess get the hype going, but why are we doing that? I've always been a little put off by the decision to make Robert Downey Jr. Doctor Doom, as Doctor Doom is one of my favorite villains. It feels weird. It feels like one of those cash grabs. Like everyone has been saying. I don't need to reiterate everything people have been saying online, but I understand why they are saying that. And so when I realized that Doomsday was so close, but also so far, I was like, what have I grown up in love with? Marvel. To put it into perspective, when Iron Man came out in May of 2008, I was 1 month away from being 3. So when I say I've loved it my whole life, it's been around most of my life, and I really do care a lot for it. I'm very passionate about it. So I decided, why don't I just rewatch everything? Most of it I haven't seen in a while, other than some things here and there that I really like Ragnarok and the Spider-Man movies, even though I don't think they're perfect Spider-Man movies, I enjoy them. But what if I just decided to rewatch all of it? And then that got me thinking, why don't I just review it all? That sounds fun. That sounds like something that can be a journey, that can be something that I can connect with for a year before I go and see Doomsday, something that is supposed to be this culmination not only of the MCU, but of the Foxverse and the Sonyverse and everything about Marvel that I've loved for so long. Why don't I just re-experience that again and take other people with me? I love these movies, and it's been a while since I've seen a lot of them, because I just knew in my heart that I loved them. But after how things have been with Marvel recently, I've just kind of felt meh. That's why DC is on top, and will always be on top, honestly, for me. I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel fan, but we can get into that later. But, with all that said, I still love Marvel to death. And without the MCU, I probably wouldn't have that love as extreme as I do. So I just want to go through everything. I want to review it. I want to make tier lists if I have to. I want to do this my way and have fun doing it and push myself for a long-term goal, watching these movies and reviewing them and talking to people about them and getting people's point of view about the films themselves. So that's what I'm going to do every single Friday until the end of the year when Doomsday comes out. I have it all planned out. Every movie, every show, except for the animated ones, I love them to an extent, but maybe I'll get to them. I don't think I'm going to get to them, but maybe I'll get to them. But everything live action in the MCU, that doesn't count Sony, that doesn't count Fox, there might be separate videos for those, but everything live action, shows and movies. Again, that's not counting those shorts that they did here and there. Maybe I'll throw them in there if I have the time, but I want to focus on the widely released things that everyone saw, that everyone enjoyed, that everyone fell in love with, that I fell in love with. That's what I want to focus on. And that kind of leads me to Iron Man, right? Because I sat down and I said, okay, let's do this. I found myself completely falling back in love with this. It's very 2008, but it's still very Marvel. This really did start everything. It really was the starting off point for it all. The way they do it, and there's good things and there's bad things that come from that. Like the Marvel humor, like the things everyone always says. The Marvel humor, the giant skybeam, which, yes, this movie does have a giant skybeam, so let's start that tally. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched this movie, but it was great. I had such a good time, and I really do understand why everyone fell in love with it, why everyone loves it. Before this, Iron Man was no one. Like, he was around, but he wasn't a household name. RDJ did that, and that's a big thing for me. I forgot just how amazing Robert Downey Jr. was because of all this discourse online about him playing Doom. There's just so much hate and vitriol that I just completely forgot that he's amazing. He's an amazing actor. Is he right for Doom? I don't know. I don't think so. Not yet. I haven't seen anything. But I know he's great at what he does, which is acting. And he's so good. The way he brought this character into live action and made it some of his own, and also took the things that made Tony so great from the comics and kind of created this new amalgamation, which is kind of what the MCU does anyway, is make an amalgamation of things, was just amazing. It really skyrocketed everything and laid out exactly what people would look for these movies. And that got old as of recent, the last couple of years. Or maybe it didn't get old, and it's just not as good as it was. Or maybe people moved on. Maybe the reception changed. I don't know. But I hope I find out when watching these. As for the movie itself, cinematography. Good. That's all I have to say. It's better than passable. It didn't blow my mind. It looked good. Like, I don't have too much to say about it. Like, I couldn't point anything out of it. It was good. It did its job. And I think that's what matters. Can we also talk about how this movie has some of the best Photoshop of people who are an older age into a younger age at the beginning of this movie? Like, nowadays you see stuff and it's, like, abysmal. And you're like, what is going on? You guys are professionally trained to do Photoshop and to make these people look younger or make these people look older. And then you look at Iron Man and it's perfect. I'm shook. What's going on? Why is this so... It's 2008. Why is this so good? Also, I don't know if this was pointed out at one point or not in all those, like, dissect videos from New Rock Stars. But when Tony goes to shake Rhodey's hand, he shakes it and then does a repulsor, like, before that's even a thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe he was just saying goodbye. But he looks like he does the repulsor, so I'm going to say he does the repulsor. Still think it's absolutely wild that Pepper is used to dry cleaning all of Tony's one-night stands. He's such a narcissist. Like, what are we doing? Poor Pepper. Poor Pepper. But you know what? That's okay. I also think it's interesting that he was supposed to go do an MIT commencement speech.
The MIT commencement speech?
Is in June. Please, don't harangue me about this stuff.
They're haranguing me, so
down.
I'm going to say yes.
Which, if I remember correctly, isn't that exactly what he does at the beginning of Civil War? He does that. Maybe it's not a commencement speech. Maybe it's like, I'm giving you money speech. But he's supposed to do a commencement speech. So I don't know if they connected that there, but that's something that clicked for me. One of the notes that I wrote down here is, how does Tony have any friends? You know, I'm just thinking about his giant gaping hole in his chest in this movie and how absolutely terrifying that would be. I don't know how he is so calm. He had a car battery hooked up to his chest. No, can't do it. That, like, I'm usually good with most things with horror and body horror, but that's not it, I think. That is, in fact, that's not it. Nope, not a fan. One thing that me and one of my housemates kind of made fun of was when he's laying on the table and Pepper is there getting the thing out of his chest. Once you've seen it a couple times, there's a visible, like, line of where the fake chest is that my housemate Levi called a tan line. So you can see the tan line. It's pretty funny, but... I also think it's really funny that the 10 Rings are in this movie. At the beginning of the MCU's slightly canonically correct organizations, terms, and so on. Good job, MCU. You're really good at keeping things comic accurate. Or making them not comic accurate and then changing them later on to where they were comic accurate the whole time. I love the slight inspiration from, like, classic Universal monsters, like the Mark I introduction through the cave, or even Obadiah Stane when he becomes the Ironmonger at the end, which he calls himself Ironmonger in the movie, which is just a meme in and of itself. But Tony coming through the cave, and you're really just seeing the eyes, or the flames, or everything he's blowing up. That is so monster movie to me, and I loved it. It's so good. I didn't realize how much inspiration was taken for those moments, especially when the Ironmonger is behind the chains and you see the eyes light up and then he starts chasing Pepper, which is a very similar shot to when the Hulk kind of runs through during the Avengers and is chasing Black Widow, if I remember correctly. I remember those shots being pretty similar. Probably my favorite part of the film is when they were doing stuff like that. I also just want to say shout out to Yinsen. Without Yinsen, there would be no MCU. Yinsen, I love you. You're great. You don't get enough hype. So I would like to be number one Yinsen hype fan, please. That's what I need. And I would appreciate if you guys called me that going forward. Number one Yinsen hype fan. That's what I am. I'm sure people have pointed this out, but Tony crashing into that wall totally would have killed him. Like, he would be, no, bones all gone. He's dead. You know, Gwyneth Paltrow's really good in this movie. It's sad she is really weird in real life.
I laughed. I cried a number of times. I sweat. I danced. I got a shot. I ate. And I had many epiphanies.
If you want to know more, just look up Gwyneth Paltrow candle, or don't look up Gwyneth Paltrow candle. I also think it's really funny that Obadiah literally gives out his evil speech to Tony when there is a reporter right behind them who Tony had just slept with, and Tony was kind of getting back on his side.
I think locked you out. I was the one who filed the injunction against you.
One other thing I realized is that Happy Hogan is barely in this movie. Like, for how big of a character he becomes for the rest of the MCU, and even now in the MCU, very odd that he has like 2 scenes in this movie. The last thing I'm going to say is that Obadiah has a little jog that he does when he realizes that S.H.I.E.L.D. and Pepper have arrived, and it is maybe the funniest thing that I have seen in the last couple of weeks. Speaking of Obadiah Stane, if I'm ranking all of these Marvel villains, and I'm only doing the main villains from the movie, it might change depending on if there's more than one villain. Anyway, main villain. So I guess right now he's at number 1, because there's no one else. So Obadiah number 1. I guess if I'm ranking all of these movies as well, Iron Man is also number 1. It's not, that's just how this is going to work until we get enough to kind of like bump things around. But I have a feeling Iron Man's going to stay at number 1 for a little bit of time. And I also have a feeling that this list is going to get rather controversial rather quickly, because I like things a lot of people don't like, and I dislike things a lot of people do like when it comes to Marvel. So this is my ranking. You guys can discuss everything in the comments and get mad at me there, to which I will not respond. Or if I'm really feeling risky, I will respond. Okay, I want to do something. I haven't come up with a great name yet for this. Maybe by the time I've edited I have, but I'm thinking like Council of Actors. These are the actors in the MCU. I think I'm going to go with like top 7. Because that gives room for at least all 6 main Avengers and 1 more. And then I can start knocking out the main 6 Avengers. Maybe I'll just do 10. Maybe I'll do 10. Top 10 actors in the MCU. And I will add them. And then every week, some people will get knocked away or added depending on what movie I've watched. So like, if I watch Iron Man 2 and I've put Gwyneth Paltrow in this council, and she sucks in Iron Man 2, I don't remember, maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. If she sucks in Iron Man 2, I have every right to take her out of Iron Man 2. So this will be a constantly changing little council that we've got going on until we get a solid 10 people in there. And then people will be taken out and thrown away or put back in or whatever. We'll see what happens. This is all an experiment, and you guys are coming along with me. So there's no way that I can't not put Robert Downey Jr. He's in there. I'm also going to throw in Gwyneth Paltrow for right now. She will probably end up going away pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. She's in there for now, and that's what matters. So Gwyneth Paltrow, Robert Downey Jr., first 2 for sure. I'm also going to throw in Clark Gregg. He's so fun in this movie. Like, he's just kind of your average S.H.I.E.L.D. agent right now, even though that's definitely not what he is. But for right now, I want to throw in Clark Gregg up there. I'm not going to put Samuel L. Jackson in there yet. I don't think that is fair yet. He's fine in his 2 sentences that he has that sets up the Avengers, but I don't feel comfortable putting Samuel L. Jackson in there just yet, so he's not going to go in there yet. And as for Terrence Howard, apparently math is a lie, so I'm not even going to think about putting him in there either.
To multiply means to do what? To make more, right?
Yes.
Increase in number?
Yes.
Multiply?
Yes.
How can 1 times 1 equaling 1 be part of the multiplication table? It fails to satisfy the term multiply. It doesn't multiply.
Okay, so Jon Favreau directed this, and I think he did very well. However, I don't feel the need to put him in our council of directors, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's something that I want to do. He directed one other movie, and he's acted and produced in quite a few going forward in the MCU, but he's only directed 2. And I don't feel that with the 2 that he's directed, I want to put him in here. So for right now, our council of directors is barren, and will stay that way until we get a good director who is solid throughout the MCU. I'm limiting this council to only 5 people instead of the 10 that we have in the actors, because there's much less wiggle room, I think, with the directors. Now, if you know me, I love my scores. I listen to scores on the daily. It is my favorite genre of music. my top Spotify Wrapped this year was scores. Like the Superman score by David Fleming and John Murphy, I think I had 1,800 minutes of just that, which was... That's a lot of minutes. I absolutely adore scores. So, of course, we're going to do a council of composers. This one's just for me. This one's not for you guys. This one's for me. We're going to do a council of composers here. And who do we have doing our first score? Ramin Djawadi. Now, an excellent composer. Actually, my favorite thing that I've heard him do is the movie Fright Night, which is a favorite of mine because it's a remake of a 1985 movie, which is like my favorite vampire movie of all time. Check it out if you haven't. It's great. But... for this, he really didn't do too much of anything for me, unfortunately. And so I'm just not going to put him on the council. He does one other score for Marvel that I was kind of shocked by when I realized what it was. And I don't see that getting him up on the composers, which I'm also going to do 5 for. I don't see that getting him up there, but as a composer himself, he's amazing. He's very good. He's one of my favorites working in the industry right now. But his Iron Man score didn't do much of anything for me. I don't see Ramin's score fitting here well, especially with Iron Man having 3 different composers at its helm. So we'll see what happens. I will say that there is one Iron Man movie whose score is one of my favorites in the MCU, and I don't think a lot of people agree with me on that. But that being said, Ramin's score is not bad, so I did want to point out 3 of my favorite tracks. Track 2, which is called Newsreel/Stark History, really gives off the jazzy vibe that you would want from Tony, I think. It feels kind of Ocean's 11, which I'm also a really big fan of, so I really like it. Also, isn't on Spotify, by the way. I don't think it's on Apple Music either, so you'd have to look it up on YouTube if you want to take a listen, but it's pretty fun. It's a good time. My other one that I really like is number 34, track 34. It's called First Flight. A lot of superhero movies do this First Flight one, and it's always so amazing. They're always called First Flight, and it's always their first flight. So you get the first really grand amalgamation of the main theme for your hero at this point, and it's brilliant. It's really good. Really good introduction to Tony's theme for this movie itself. Track 45 is my other favorite one. It's called Pepper Steals Files. If you couldn't guess, it's when Pepper Steals Files from Obadiah Stane. I really like it. It feels really thriller-esque and a little bit different from what the rest of the movie, and kind of harkens back to that monster movie feeling that I talked about a little earlier. So altogether, I really care for this movie. Like it reminded me why I love these so much, and I can't wait to keep watching them. I'm very excited, actually. After rewatching this, I feel that drive for Marvel again. I really feel reconnected, I think is the word I want to go with. Reconnected, and like I've fallen back in love with something that of my past that I had fallen away from. I've watched all the Marvel things that they've released, except for one thing. I've watched all of the MCU that they've put out, and I enjoy it for the most part, but it doesn't hit like this does. And I'm wondering if this is nostalgia or if this is just that they're fun, that they're good movies, that I don't have to think super hard about, that I don't have to listen to what people are saying online about these, that I can make up my own choices, my own decisions on these movies, and that I can choose to just have fun and not have to listen to everyone hate on everything. And that's kind of what I am hoping to get out of this, is that I just enjoy myself, and that I can enjoy this beautiful collection of stories that combine to create one giant story, one giant narrative, and that I can fall back in love again, and that that all leads back up to Doomsday, and that I will actually legitimately enjoy that movie, and it won't feel like a cash grab to me. It'll feel like something genuine, even though it probably won't be. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this, and what I'm hoping to reconnect with. And with that being said, I kind of wanted to end it with one of my favorite quotes from this movie. I have 2 actually, but I love when after they've kidnapped Tony, they say, "Welcome Tony Stark, the most famous mass murderer in America." I think that is brilliant dialogue. It's so solid. And then the other one, the one that really hit me when I was watching it, and that I felt really showed a change in Tony's character, was when he said, "I have more to give this world than just blowing things up." It's simple, it's direct, but it's everything that I feel like I want from where Tony's character that I know of is going. it really hit, and I really loved it. And that goes for this whole movie. I had a lot of fun. It was a good time, and I can't wait to keep going. So do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about Iron Man down below. I'll see you guys next week for The Incredible Hulk.